Hello everyone, I'm gonna change the front brake pads and the rear brake pads of this car. It's a 2006 Lexus LX470. A few days ago I received the check engine light. When I scanned it, and looked up the code, it means that it needs new brake pads. So the tools I'm going to be using today is flathead screwdriver, a plier that can extend. This will help compress the piston of the brake caliper. This is a 3/8 17 millimeter ratchet. This is 1/2 inch 17 millimeter breaker bar, and a needle nose plier just in case if I need it. This is a 14 millimeter socket. I don't think I would need it, but just in case. I don't want to go back and forth, walk back and forth to my toolbox. And some WD-40, brake cleaner, bungee cord. It's you guys will see what I'm gonna use it for, and some cheap brake pads. Couldn't find cheaper than this. Altogether, front and rear, it cost me 45 bucks. Not a big deal, way cheaper than OEM. And 22 millimeter tire iron, which is standard for all Toyota Land Cruiser from 1998 till 2007. And the best way to jack up your door jack is to put it under the lower control arm. Let me show you from that side. This is my favorite spot to jack the car up from there because it's more stable. Right there. And a key for the lug nut, because this has a lock, so it would need a key, which came with this car. I just removed the wheel, and the bolts that we are going to be removing from the back are these two. This one, I already sprayed it with WD-40, and there's one on the bottom right here, and this one. These both are 17 millimeter bolts. And guys, don't forget to chock the wheels. I'm not using any jack stand because I'm feeling lazy, but I would suggest everybody use jack stands and wheel chocks. And this is where you jack up the car from. So hopefully it's not gonna be too hard to open it. I'm just gonna wait for it for maybe 5 minutes and then try my luck after that. Okay guys, I loosened up the bolts, which wasn't too bad. I mean, it required some elbow grease, but it wasn't too bad. So my next step is gonna remove these pins, and to remove the pin you have to, let me see, very easy. Okay, this is way too easy. Just pull it out from here like this. Pull one up, the upper one first, and then this is the bottom one. Pull it out. Son of a gun. And then this thing comes out. It's like this in there. This comes out. You guys can also remove the brake pads without removing the entire caliper, but I would like to clean the caliper a little bit. That's why I'm removing the caliper also. So the next thing is to push these pins out that's holding the brake pads. Use a flathead screwdriver like this. Not too bad. The top one wasn't too bad. Like this. Now bottom one is kind of stuck because of this spring right here. So to remove the spring, it's just pull it out like this. And this side will release some tension on this pin on the bottom. Easy. Put this in a safe place in a magnet tray. And now I have already wrapped the bungee cord up here. So once I remove the caliper, I will hang this caliper to this with this bungee cord up here. So oh no, what the hell, I don't know what kind of leak is this. I will check. Maybe that's looks like it's coming from AHC. I don't know. I'll take care of that later. Okay, I removed the caliper. I'm hanging it with the help of this bungee cord right here. Don't want to put tension on this brake hose. That's why you have to use a bungee cord or whatever you have at home. You can use that. And actually I found that there is no leak coming. It's probably somebody used it for like lubricating those bolts. Looks like somebody worked on these bolts. Somebody replaced the upper control arm and tried this lubrication to loosen up the bolt, but yeah, thankfully it's not AHC. I can smell this. It smells like PP blaster, and I don't know who did that. I will clean it up with a brake fluid. I mean with a brake cleaner. Don't use brake fluid because it's gonna strip off your paint. So now you have to remove these pads right here. Just pull it out like this. Let's see how bad are the pads. Son of a gun. Can't really work with one hand. Yeah, you have to pull it out because it has those kind of hooks they are inserted into the piston. Put it out first like this. These hooks I was talking about. Brake pad is bad, but it's not very bad. Second one, pull it out first like this, and then pull it up. Look at this one. So I'm gonna use that plier to compress these pistons back into its original spot. There are some fancy tools for compressing these pistons, but I don't have money, and I find this plier more easy than those tools. Okay, this is how you compress the pistons back. Use this damn plier. And yep, went back in. Now the other one. If your pistons are very hard to press, it means there is something wrong with your pistons. It might be rusty or something. It shouldn't take too much force. So this one is coming out on the other side. You have to repeat this process a few times. Once you press one end, the other one is gonna come out. Once you press that one end, the other one is gonna come out. So it's like a cat and mouse. Let me fix this. I'll show you how it's looking, how it looks. Okay, the pistons are sitting flush. It took me almost 5 minutes to put them back in its original spot. These are the Wagner brake pads. It has this shim that is kind of glued to the back. So I removed the shim because I'm gonna use the OEM shim that came with the old pads. To use the OEM shims, you just remove the top bracket right here. Remove this. And nothing is easy when working on cars. Everything gets so hard. Like this. And then this one more shim right here. Put the shim on the top of the pad. What the hell? Wait. Like this. And then put some grease on the back. Put some grease on the shims right here. And also never forget to put some grease right over here on the calipers. Right here. On all 4 sides, so the pads can slide easy back and forth. If it gets rusty, it might get stuck over there. Always put grease on these sides. Here. Let me point it out. Flathead screwdriver, so put some grease right here, put some here on all 4 sides. put the shims back on the new calipers. So it's like that, and then let's see, this one on the top, this one on the top. I'm gonna clean them and then I will show you guys the end result. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to install the brake pads. I eventually put those shims on the brand new brake pads. Hold it right here. These are the brand new brake pads. Old one, I will show you guys the old ones later. So you insert these two clips into the piston first. Oh, wait a sec, I need to put some lubrication on this. Some grease on the caliper. There's the damn grease right here. Insert the brake pad inside the piston first, those clips. Okay, that's good. And now the other one. Right here. Okay, done. Now put this caliper on the piston. Oh, that's damn heavy. These pistons need to be pressed in some more. Shut off the camera. Okay, so I had to press those pistons more in because those pistons are kind of tricky. Once you press one in and the other one is gonna come out, and you press the other end, the other one is gonna come out. So I had to take some time. Sorry about that. Come on this side, so You can see where this bolt is gonna go to. Put some WD-40 on this bolt, or NTCs or whatever. Put it up, back out, like there. So hold the caliper with one hand and try to line up this bolt. Oh, this is from hell. Shut it off. Okay, so I was finally able to put this bolt back on. It's a very bit hard, not too hard, but it's very hard to line it up back to the threads, because this caliper is kind of heavy, and at the same time lining up the bolt is a little bit tricky. And I already did this bolt also, this one, so I'm gonna use a socket to tighten them up, and then put those springs back on these calipers from the back. Okay, so that's a 17mm bolt. This is my favorite ratchet. Bought it from Walmart a few years ago. Okay, I don't know what is the torque spec for these bolts. I have a torque wrench, but I'm not gonna waste my time by getting a torque wrench. It's not a rocket science. Just use your common sense and don't get it over tightened and don't let it loose. It should be good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, put some grease on these pins. Should be easy to just slide it without forcing it too much with a hammer or anything. It's like this, right there. And then before inserting the bottom pin, you guys have to put this spring. Let's insert the bottom pin, which is hold the spring like this. And then right there, and then put these right in there. This gets hard and hot. We need to push it with the screwdriver. Yeah, right there. Like this should be good. Okay, now one more. One more right here. So before you insert this one, make sure you line up the holes in the pins. These tiny holes. Yeah. So put this one right here first, and then you insert this in that. Hole. Like that. And then you insert this other one right here. Line up the hole with a needed nose plier, like this. And that's the brake job. That's done. If you can do it at home, it's better. I sprayed some degreaser on this. It's coming off. Let me clean it. Son of a guns. Then clean this. Okay, let me spray some degreaser on it. Okay, so cleaning some. You can spray degreaser on the brake pad, and I mean on the roller. And then put your tire back on, and that's it. Okay, now it's time to replace the rear brake pad. For replacing the rear brake pad, of course you have to remove the rear tire, and the jacking point for raising the car is right there. And once you remove the rear tire, then there's this is kind of a dust shield. These are 8mm bolts, and just remove it. Doesn't require too much force. I mean, of course you gotta use a ratchet, but it's not too tight. It comes off easy. Then this bolt is 14. Okay, hold this. Oh, this is 14. I'm using a deep socket just so it can give me some clearance. Let me fold this thing right here. Oh. I'm gonna put some WD-40 on it. And one on this one. Should wait for it, but I'm gonna try it again. Okay, one more. Okay, and those are loose. Don't want to put these long bolts in water or on ice or snow. It's gonna get rusty, so I just use the side step. Let's see how bad are the rear brakes. Rusty. Don't have to remove the whole caliper, you can just remove this top part of the caliper. Okay, let this piston rest on there, or right here. It's the best place for the piston to rest. And then take these out, slide out. Not bad. Let me compare this with the brand new ones right here. So these are the new ones and this is the old one. I mean, the old one still can last, but since I'm already doing this work, I should do all four at once. I don't have that much time to come back for replacing the rear ones again. So these rear ones come with a shim from the factory, which are not glued like the front one. These are Wagner. I will write down the part numbers of these in the description of the video. And this is a very easy job. So what you gotta do is put some grease on this right here. First clean it off with a brake cleaner, then put some grease and then insert this right here like that. Easy. And then put that piston back on the top of it and put those 14mm bolts. That should be, yeah, so one right here. Let me see. The back one. Let me get a flathead screwdriver.
It's over there.
So I use flathead screwdriver and pry it out. Oh, this piston is bad. I mean, this pad is bad. This is completely worn out. The one on the outer side is good, but one on the inner side is completely finished. Not completely finished, but still bad. I think I should use the OEM shims, or maybe I will just use the one that came with the brand new ones. Okay. Okay, so before you put the brand new pads in, you have to compress this piston back inside. So let me see. Stop off that. Let's try if I can compress it with this damn thing. Oh, it's out. Wait, I'll be back. Okay, so that plier wasn't able to compress this because it don't have good leverage on it. I mean, it opens enough, but it don't have any leverage. So I found this in my toolbox. So this is ideal for a rear brake job. So this is how you compress it with this tool. This was like, I don't know, maybe $5 or something, $5 or $10. I bought it like years ago. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, right here. No. Right here. Son of a gun. Oh, I'm losing my brain. Let me have some clearance. See, the piston is going in. Let me try it from this side so I can have some clearance. shut it up. So eventually I ended up compressing the piston with the help of oil pad. Put the oil pad against the piston and then keep tightening this thing until it sits flush, and that should do the trick. The first time when I was doing it wasn't right, so because this long screw was going all the way inside the piston, to fill the gap I had to use this old pad, and once you start tightening it up, it will compress the piston all the way go to the bottom. And put some grease on the shims, some grease on the sides, right here and right here. Same on the back side also. Same thing. Okay guys, I hit a snag over here when I was trying to tighten up this bolt. This side was also moving, so I have to hold it up with 17mm open end wrench to get it tightened up. But the problem is this open end wrench is so thick, it's not gonna sit properly. So I'm gonna give you guys an update in a few minutes once I get it done. Yeah, I was able to get it tightened up, and if I get it more tight, this is gonna spin this nut on the other end with itself. So I think that should be good enough, because it shouldn't be that tight anyway. Even the bottom one, if I get it more tight, it's gonna spin this nut. I don't really have a open end wrench that is thin enough to fit right over here, so it will do the job, no problem. So I don't have a grinder to grind off some of the metal from my open end wrench also. And the brake job is finished. That's how it's done. I mean, it's very easy, so you guys probably can do it at home without taking it to a mechanic. Altogether it's gonna cost you just the price of the brake pads. That's it. Okay guys, don't forget to put the dust shield back on it. It's just a 8mm bolts, and it don't need a lot of force. Just tight it by fingers like this. That's it. And put the tire back on and move on to the next side, and clean this with a brake cleaner. Clean the rotor with a brake cleaner before you put the tire back on. Right guys, I may be doing a timing belt job, so I would try to make a video of that also. See you guys in another video. Bye.